Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news, Senate Leader Phil Berger has asked for a recount in the Republican primary for his Triad area seat. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Laura Levine, and for Chris Levingood, thanks for joining us. WRAL state government reporter Caroline Jaffa explains what the recount process could look like and why this race is getting national attention. Caroline.
And as you said, in the last hour, we just learned that Senate Leader Phil Berger has formally requested a recount in his Republican primary. Now, he currently trails Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page by just 23 votes. And right now, we're inside the North Carolina General Assembly, and this race could decide a seat behind these doors in the Senate chamber. Now, recounts in North Carolina rarely flip elections, and Berger would need to gain a net of 24 ballots. That hasn't happened in recent history, but Berger is giving it a shot, which is an effort to keep his place as one of the state's most influential lawmakers.
If he were to lose, it would mean that power shifts in the North Carolina Senate. It means someone else, and we don't know who that might be, is in charge with different priorities.
And in a statement that we just got, Page claimed victory, saying, quote, Phil Berger has the right to request a recount, and I'm confident it will confirm the outcome that we won. Now, this might not be the only action that we get today in this race. People have until 5 p.m. to request a protest. Now, this means that if they disagree with the outcomes of the election or believe the election has been resulted in anything that was unfair, they can file that with the State Board of Elections. Now, Berger's team identified in their recount request that they want officials to take a look at about 220 ballots. Now, as of moments ago, no protest, has been formally filed. Caroline Jaffa, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Caroline, thank you. The Holly Springs Town Council is hosting a public hearing tonight to talk about future development. They will discuss a planned subdivision and commercial use of land on Avent Ferry Road. In the past, there has been community opposition due to the traffic and congestion in that area. Council will also discuss major subdivision plans in the Evanston neighborhood. The meeting starts at 7 tonight.
All right, let's talk about it. Weather whiplash. Beautiful blue skies return, but there is a chill in the air. Meteorologist Amy Wilmoth is here telling us everything we need to know about this big shape-up that we have here.
Right, all thanks to that cold front that brought the whipping winds last night. And now we have the colder air in place. It's cold today. It's cold tomorrow. So get the winter gear ready just for a couple of days, and then we'll see a temperature turnaround. But definitely more of a west to northwest flow through the day today, and the colder air is here, and it's going to stay here tonight as well. Wait till you see the numbers for tonight. This is a live look at RDU. As Laura mentioned, a bright, beautiful, sunny day, but still cold thanks to that switch in air masses because of that cold front. But beautiful looking outside. It's still chilly, though. It's 39 degrees right now in Raleigh. Very, very cold for this time of year. 42 right now in Fayetteville, 40 in South Hill. When you look at this temperature right now compared to this time yesterday, we're close to 30 degrees colder right now compared to what we had yesterday. Much milder air mass yesterday. So for St. Patrick's Day, we're keeping it cool. Temperatures will likely hover in the upper 40s through the afternoon. And then once the sun sets, that temperature is going to drop, and it is going to be very cold overnight tonight. We'll get down into the 20s everywhere. So if you have some budding plants outside, cover them up or bring them in. If that's an option, it is going to be bitterly cold overnight tonight into tomorrow. Now, I mentioned the cold air is brief. I'll talk about when the 80s return coming up in just a bit.
Amy, thank you. A 4-year-old is hurt after a storm sent a tree crashing down onto this Durham home. It happened yesterday evening on Red Oak Avenue. The boy was taken to the hospital. We're told he is expected to be okay. We're working to get an update on his condition and what the next steps are for repairs.
Johnson County deputies are investigating an apparent road rage shooting. Sky 5 flew over that scene at Shoreline and US 70 this morning where it happened. WRAL's Destiny Patterson joins us live now with what she's been able to learn about the circumstances and the victim, Destiny.
We're standing just off of US 70 near Princeton. I mean, take a look right now. Things are pretty much business as usual, but this was not the case just a couple of hours ago. Take a look at this Sky 5 video. You can see the heavy police presence that showed up to this scene. There were both state troopers as well as Johnston County Sheriff deputies on the scene. A deputy told us that a man was shot after a road rage incident over radio traffic. It sounds like that altercation started about 7:30 this morning.
Responding to 70 East for flight. One subject's been shot. One is a work truck with a trailer behind it, and the other is a Chevy Impala.
Now, I asked the sheriff's office if the person shot is expected to survive. I also asked if any charges would be filed. At this point, they would only say that it's still under investigation. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News, live in Johnston County.
As U.S. and Israeli strikes continue to pound Iran, Israel said it killed Iran's top security officials. Israel also said it killed the head of a key militia used to suppress protests in the
Today, we now know the names of 2 of the 3 victims of a deadly weekend shooting in Rocky Mount. Police say 46-year-old Jose Richardson and 20-year-old Zaquan Parker were both killed. Another victim, a 16-year-old, was critically injured. This happened on East Raleigh Boulevard near Pinehurst Drive on Saturday. So far, there are no arrests. We also now know the names of 2 people killed in a weekend shooting that happened here in Durham. Investigators say Tevin Burney and Jared Godfrey died. The 2 men were found in a car on Roxborough Street with gunshot wounds. A woman who was also inside the car is expected to be okay. There's no word on a suspect or a motive.
A woman believed to be the ex-wife of the man who died after driving a vehicle into Michigan's Temple, Israel, called 911 shortly before the attack.
On the line, go ahead.
Okay, caller, go ahead. What's going on?
Hello. His family, his 2 brothers and their kids in an airstrike in Lebanon in the war, and he's not stable. He texted me. He sent me a voice message right now. He's like suicidal. I called him. I'm trying to call him. He kept he answered me.
Do you know if he has any weapons in the home?
I don't know at all.
Okay, and what?
But I'm scared. I don't know if there's anything. I don't know if there's anything, but I just feel like he's by himself.
Ayman Ghazali died after driving a vehicle full of explosives into the synagogue. According to the Department of Homeland Security, Ghazali entered the U.S. legally in 2011 and became a citizen 5 years later.
The man once charged with carrying out President Trump's immigration crackdown is expected to retire by the end of the month. President Trump tapped Gregory Bovino to lead mass law enforcement deployment operations in several cities, including L.A., Chicago, and Minneapolis. The aggressive tactics used during some immigration enforcement operations attracted protesters and criticism from both the courts and elected and community leaders. Bovino's expected departure coincides with the removal of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem.
A law in Arkansas that required the 10 Commandments to be displayed in every public school classroom has been blocked by a federal court. The law mandated that all public school classrooms display the 10 Commandments derived from the Protestant King James Bible. A federal court has ruled that law violates the First Amendment rights of students and parents. Groups, including the ACLU, represented the plaintiffs in the lawsuit, multi-faith families who have children in the public schools. Arkansas's Attorney General plans to appeal.
Well, we have some sad news to report this afternoon now in the entertainment world. The co-host of the Showtime at the Apollo variety show has died. We're talking about Kiki Shepard, of course, who died of a massive heart attack. She was on Showtime at the Apollo from 1987 through 2002, appearing with various MCs, including Steve Harvey and Mark Curry. During that time, Shepard also appeared on other shows, including A Different World and Baywatch. She was 74 years old.
You will never know what will happen in L.A. Take this, for instance. Hollywood's newest Best Actor winner strolled into the Hollywood In-N-Out Burger just steps away from the Dolby Theater, where he won his first Academy Award. Yes, that's Michael B. Jordan there, just casually ordering a meal, cracking a few jokes with fans, leaving many in disbelief.
I turned my head to the left, and Michael B. Jordan is literally standing right next to me. Like, he's literally ordering burger, like, right next to me, like right here. I'm like, my jaw dropped. I'm like, I'm started like doing this. I'm like, wait, it can't be real. Like, what is going on here?
Jordan signed some autographs and shook some hands, then enjoyed some cheeseburgers. One for him and one for his new pal, Oscar. You see right there on the table.
It's such a LA thing, right? Well, the National Weather Service has confirmed a tornado with 85-mile-per-hour winds hit a northeast Charlotte warehouse. The wind ripped the roof off the building, exposing the beams. Crews say damage was minimal outside the warehouse, a trail of damage that coincides with the tornado warning that was issued. Fortunately, no one was hurt. And we are here now in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. And thankfully, Amy, that severe weather is behind us.
It is. We ended up getting a lot of reports from the wind. It really picked up as the front arrived last night. So here's a look at those damage reports. Laura mentioned the tornado. That's where that was. For our area, it was mainly the strong gusty winds that came as the front arrived late yesterday evening and continue to stay fairly blustery throughout the overnight hours. Some trees came down, one on a home, one on an apartment. So it was just a little bit later in the day when we started to get our reports of some wind damage. But now the cold air is back. So the cold front has moved through. We have more of this west to northwest flow, and that's driving in some cooler temperatures. At least it's sunny outside. It's nice and pretty. This is a live look at downtown Raleigh. A beautiful blue sky in place right now. Visible satellite imagery shows a lot of sunshine, not a lot of cloud cover. The clouds are back to the north and west. Some of these are going to arrive overnight tonight, and we will have more cloud cover tomorrow compared to what we've had today. But today, the big story has been the cold. 39 the current temperature in Raleigh. Look at Boone. It's 24 degrees in Boone right now, and there is a little bit of a breeze, so it feels like 33 in Raleigh. It feels like 9 single digits is what it feels like in the northern part of our North Carolina mountains up in Boone. And they actually had a little bit of snow from the front as well. So the temperature change from now compared to this time yesterday, close to 30 degrees across a good part of the state. So definitely a colder air mass in place. And that's going to be with us all of today and all of tomorrow. A chilly afternoon. Temperatures likely hover in the upper 40s for most of us through the day today, around 47 in Raleigh. After school practices or after school games, make sure you bundle up if you have to sit in the stands for some of those. It'll be chilly. We'll be in the 40s, down into the low 40s by 7 o'clock, and it is going to be cold tonight. The sun sets at 7:23 this evening, and once that sun sets, the temperature will continue to drop. We'll be in the upper 30s by about 10 o'clock this evening. 36 degrees by 11 o'clock. And then a hard freeze expected tonight. So plan for some cold temperatures tomorrow morning. We could get as cold as 22 in Roxborough, 26 in Raleigh, 25 in Durham, 22 in Siler City, 26 in Irwin, 27 in Clinton. So everyone tonight gets the cold air, maybe even as low as 21 in Robbins. If you have some tender plants that you have set outside and you can bring them in, do that. If not, you want to cover those before you go to bed tonight. We don't want it to mess up any of your beautiful plants that you have. Now today, Wednesday, Thursday, no rain in the forecast, and rain chances remain minimal as we approach the upcoming weekend. We don't have any big rain chances anywhere in the 7-day forecast. But good news for the weekend, we'll have some clouds around Saturday, but it'll be warmer, 77 for the high on Saturday. Partly cloudy and even warmer still on Sunday with high temperatures back up to 80 degrees. So we're going from 20s tomorrow morning to 80s for the second half of the weekend. It's typical this time of year we get some huge temperature swings with these cold fronts. So cold today and tomorrow. We start to get milder Thursday. That warm up will continue through the weekend. Another chance for some storms as we head into early next week.
Amy, thank you. Car recall. Hyundai is taking tens of thousands of cars off the road after a child died. The major problem now drawing safety concerns. That story at 4.
Plus, dialing down data centers. Another county in our area could block any development of the giant facility. Up next, why there's growing pushback to the supercharged sites tonight at 5:30. And digital coupon savings next at noon. Paper coupons are still around, but in many stores, the best discounts have gone digital. 5 on your side shows you just how much the savings can add up.
And predatory pricing schemes, the latest effort to protect shoppers from companies who use their personal data to charge them more for products. When it comes to coupon clipping and saving on your grocery bill, you probably noticed most of the discounts have gone digital. 5 on your side's Ashley Rose shows us how you can use digital coupons to save on your next grocery run.
Coupons have been part of grocery shopping for generations, but today the savings are often digital, loaded in the store's app, which you can sometimes combine with other deals.
If you're willing to take just a few minutes and peruse those circulars or clip digital or paper coupons, those offers can shave hundreds of dollars off your grocery bill over time.
To see how much those savings can add up, Brian Vines with Consumer Reports put coupons to the test. While at the grocery store, Breyer's 48-ounce containers of ice cream were priced at $5.99 each. Because he was a member of the store's rewards program, the ice cream was on sale for $2 for $8.
I got further savings because I downloaded that store's digital app, which gave me $1 off that same ice cream deal.
To unlock these digital deals, most stores require you to create an account and join a loyalty program. In exchange, retailers may be able to collect data about your shopping habits. That information can be used to target ads and potentially to charge different prices to different shoppers, a practice known as surveillance pricing. If you prefer not to rely on apps, some stores offer in-store kiosks where you can scan your physical rewards card or enter your phone number to load digital discounts. Other stores may apply discounts at checkout if you ask. Ashley Rowe, 5 on your side.
Yeah, and speaking of surveillance pricing, New York Attorney General Letitia James and other lawmakers are now pushing 2 bills to ban surveillance pricing. That's when companies use a consumer's personal data and algorithms to charge different people different prices. The One Fair Price Act would also ban using personal data to set prices. The Protecting Consumers and Jobs from Discriminatory Pricing Act would ban electronic shelf labels and surveillance pricing in grocery stores and pharmacies. Advocates say surveillance pricing also creates opportunities for discrimination and threatens grocery worker jobs.
When browsing Amazon, you may have noticed it now offers 1-hour delivery. This new option is now available in hundreds of locations. The idea is to offer faster fulfillment on items that you could typically find at a big box discount store. And that includes things like health and beauty products and over-the-counter medications. 1-hour delivery costs $10 for Prime consumers, $20 for everyone else. Customers can also choose the 3-hour delivery option for $5 less.
Well, we have more news just ahead now. In dire straits, the war with Iran is impacting much more than gas prices, why farmers say Americans could experience a spike in grocery prices.
Plus, hidden poison dangers, what parents need to know about the everyday products in your home that could pose a serious health risk. And here's a look at your winning North Carolina Education Lottery numbers.
Our news continues here in the WRAL Live Center. Records. We want to take you some new videos, some breaking news we're following out of Durham. Sky 5 is over Jordan High School right now, and you can see some of the students leaving, but there's a heavy Durham County Sheriff's and police presence there in front of Jordan High School. And here's what we've been able to confirm. Our assignment desk found out from the school district that the school was under what was called a secure status, which is a form of a lockdown because there were reports of a student with a weapon on campus. Something else we've been able to confirm from the assignment desk making some calls, the student in question is no longer on campus. Now, right now, we saw a number of students leaving the school, so we're checking with the Durham school system to decide, to determine if that secure status is still in place. But again, you can see students leaving presumably to go to lunch of some sorts. Of course, we're working to find out who that student is, what type of charges that student could face. As soon as we get any information, we'll let you know here in the WRAL Live Center.
Thank you, Ken. The war's disruption of shipping in the Strait of Hormuz is raising big concerns for American farmers.
And the closure has led to surging prices and fears over supply, just as many farmers are beginning their spring planting season. Michael Yashoda breaks it all down, including what this could mean for food prices.
If we miss that window, we could have catastrophic crop failure.
Alarm bells sounding over disrupted shipping through the Strait of Hormuz and the potential impact to American farmers.
Worst case scenario, a grower may not be able to get a crop in the ground. And of course, that's going to lead to food security conversations.
The waterway is critical for transporting supplies needed to make fertilizers, as well as the finished products, including about half the world's supply of urea, a nitrogen fertilizer for crops like corn. Also, about a third of global exports of ammonia, key for most nitrogen fertilizers, and sulfur, another vital nutrient for crops. Shipments that have essentially stopped since the war.
With the closure of that strait, it's lifted prices here in the United States by several $100s per ton. So that immediately squeezes farmers' bottom line.
I've not seen this level of disruption before. Urea prices are up 50% since that Friday before.
According to the Fertilizer Institute, the U.S. imports about 35% of its fertilizer needs every year, with supplies often arriving just in time for use.
I'm told we still need to import about 25% of our need for March, April, May application.
Now, spiked costs and already low crop prices could lead to tough decisions.
We'll have to adapt either to plant a different crop that is uses less fertilizer or potentially reduce the amount of fertilizer that they use, which could have an impact on crop yields and ultimately prices.
So let's talk about gas prices now. Those prices are on the rise once again today. New data from AAA shows the national average up 7 more cents to $3.79. In North Carolina, it's 4 cents to $3.56, and in Raleigh, it's up 3 cents to $3.59.
Rising fuel costs are hitting closer to home, affecting how local schools operate day to day. Today, Wake school leaders will talk about how to keep buses running for the rest of the school year as the cost for diesel fuel rises. The district says it believes it has enough fuel to last through the end of April, but they will need to buy more fuel for May and some of June. Wake County leaders believe they have enough leftover money from special education transportation costs to cover any additional fuel costs. You can find the lowest gas prices in your area with the WRAL Fuel Tracker. Just open the WRAL News app and search fuel.
It's National Poison Prevention Week, a time to bring awareness to the many things you may have in your home that can harm a child. Mandy Gaither explains how parents can help prevent accidental poisonings.
It can happen quickly. Accidental poisoning sent an estimated 67,000 U.S. children to the emergency room in 2023. It was also the cause of 90 child deaths.
They are naturally exploring and curious, which is a wonderful, amazing, and normal and appropriate thing for these children. But that means they might be curious and explore things that could be dangerous to them.
Dr. Manisha Agarwal with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta says parents may not realize some potentially dangerous items are in their home. That includes some cosmetics and personal care products like eye drops are an exposure risk. Household cleaners, including laundry detergent, brightly colored pods can be attractive to young hands. Plants can be a problem. Many common indoor and outdoor ones can be toxic if ingested. Foreign bodies like button batteries found in things like toys can also lead to a medical emergency, and medications, both prescription and over-the-counter, including edibles.
They can be formulated in candies or cookies or chips or other snacks or gummies that children might want to consume.
To prevent poisoning, Agarwal says to make sure you store dangerous items up, away, and out of sight, ideally in a place that can be locked. All cleaners and other household fluids should be kept in a place that's child-proofed.
If you have medicines you're no longer using, get them out of your house. Dispose of them properly so your child can't find that leftover and take it by accident.
And that was Mandy Gaither reporting. The National Poison Control Hotline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. However, if you suspect a poisoning and the child is pale, having trouble breathing, or looks sick, call 911 immediately. Be sure to take the product with you to the emergency room or get a picture of it to help doctors who are treating the child.
A federal judge has blocked some of the efforts by Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy to reshape U.S. vaccine policy. The judge ruled that the Centers for Disease Control's decision in January did not follow the proper legal channels. The judge said members of the medical associations that sued the government were harmed by the changes. The judge also ruled that Kennedy's decision last June to fire all 17 members of the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Committee and replace them with his handpicked members violated federal law.
All right, well, wavy stripes.
Check out the new World Cup jerseys for the U.S. men's team. How the design not only helps them look good, but feel good as well.
And swept away, floodwaters destroy a dream house in Hawaii. Why the homeowners say they're still grateful. And remember, you can watch WRAL News live anytime on WRAL.com or the WRAL app on your streaming device. We'll be right back. Today, the NCAA men's basketball tournament gets started. NC State begins its journey in Dayton, Ohio. The Wolfpack will take on the Texas Longhorns in the first 4 round, and the winner will play BYU in the opening round of the tournament on Thursday. The game starts at 9:30 tonight. Duke and UNC will play their first games Thursday. In the women's tournament, Duke, UNC, and NC State all play on Friday. And on YouTube, our WRAL sports team has what you need to know about March Madness. That includes a breakdown of the brackets and what to expect from our local teams. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
Wavy stripes and metallic stars. Nike and U.S. Soccer revealed new home and away kits for the 2026 FIFA World Cup team. The new jerseys blend performance innovation with bold American design, reminiscent of the 1994 wavy stripe design. The match jerseys feature Nike's AeroFit technology. It's engineered for lightweight breathability, mobility, and comfort in all weather conditions. It was created with input from members of the national team. The U.S. men's national team will debut the kits later this month in Atlanta.
All right, much more news ahead now. Taking it all in stride, severe flooding destroys a couple's dream home. How close they came to being swept away with the structure.
And protecting pedestrians. One man is stepping up to keep his community safe. The inspiration behind his act of kindness.
Welcome back. It's been 2 years since North Carolina legalized sports betting, and a new WRAL documentary looks at the impact to the state. Let's bring in WRAL documentary investigator Kristen Severance to talk about this new project. Kristen, first, let's begin with why you decided to take this on.
You know, Laura, the state is making far more money than expected, but we also found growing concerns about addiction and the pressure it's putting on athletes and people who bet. Here's a short clip from our documentary premiering tomorrow night.
We just have this gambling culture now, and we just expect it.
The WRAL documentary unit investigates the impact of legalized sports betting in North Carolina.
Sports betting won't be legal in North Carolina in time for the Super Bowl next year.
Sports betting is now legal in North Carolina, and I'm taking the Canes to win the Stanley Cup.
How gambling is reshaping its people, finances, and future.
What we've seen is, it has far outgrown what they initially thought would be the revenue that comes into the state. That's a success.
But honestly, the timing of sports betting was absolutely critical for us. We were in a budget crisis.
And we're already seeing the effects. And a lot of people will point to, well, hey, there's a lot more tax revenue. Sure, but at what cost?
The fastest growing addiction that is destroying young men in their 20s is online sports gambling. FanDuel is a portal to hell. DraftKings ain't king of nothing except their own pocketbook.
You don't place your first bet thinking I'm going to be the person who ends up with gambling disorder.
I didn't realize that would be the catalyst for what would eventually devolve into just an all-consuming fixation.
It's not just that I was gambling a little bit or I was gambling every day. It was that I was gambling pretty much all day, every single day.
How much were these bets?
I would probably say $200,000-300,000 on a weekend.
Who makes the industry money? It's those that have a problem gambling, or a gambling disorder.
We would not be sustainable. We would not be durable as an industry if that is the only thing we created.
People will go into crippling debt over this, and it will destroy more and more lives as time goes on.
It's like a handheld syringe.
We didn't invent gambling in North Carolina. It had been happening for well before I ever got to the legislature, and would continue whether or not we pass sports betting or not.
The truth is, this is an epidemic, and only people who have gone through it truly understand it, how much you lie. You never win as much as you win, and you lose way more than you lose.
And look, that is just a very small portion. We get into so many issues, from how the state is spending this money to just those real concerns that sports betting is now such a big part of sports.
Really interesting topic. So tell us a little bit about what surprised you the most by working on this project, Kristen.
You know, I knew it was popular, right? But it has become such a big part of people's lives. You know, young people, they're doing this in frat houses with friends at bars. And really, because it's on the phone, you can do this anywhere. And I knew that. But I think when you talk to people, I mean, just going into any bar, and people were so willing to talk about their bets and talk about the thousands and thousands of dollars that they've bet over the last 2 years. And then we just get into really what that means for them, what that means for the state. We really learned so much doing this.
Yeah, Kristen, it could be anybody really that you know, family, friends that are hooked on it. So we thank you so much. And you can watch the Gamble sports betting in North Carolina tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. on TV, the WRAL YouTube channel, or wherever you watch WRAL.
Raging floodwaters destroy a Hawaiian couple's dream home in Maui. The house was swept away by a swollen river over the weekend. Now, the couple was inside the home just 3 minutes before the home collapsed into that river. The couple has been forced to sleep in a storage container with their cats in the meantime.
Never expected my whole house to disappear, but yeah, so everything's gone.
Mother Nature wins, and she wants you, she takes you. She didn't take us, she just took the house. So we're grateful for that. We have each other, and we're doing fine.
The couple is sleeping in a storage container with their cats until they figure out what's next. The aftermath of the storm knocked out power across Maui, Oahu, and the Big Island. Repair crews were still working to restore electricity to more than 12,000 customers. We are grateful for more quiet weather today, and while the temperatures feel more like winter, it feels like spring in the sense that the trees are just putting out the pollen.
Yeah, Kat Campbell just pointed this out to me. She said it's the highest pollen count so far this season with the tree pollen. Now, this goes from 9 a.m. yesterday to 9 a.m. today, so that's where we come up with this number here. It's likely, Kat and I were wondering, like, why did this happen all of a sudden with the cold temperatures? It's probably from the wind. We had some howling winds really blowing that pollen around, and that's probably where that number is coming from. I think it'll probably be a little bit lower for the next couple of days with these colder temperatures, but these are going to be some higher numbers as we approach the weekend with the warm up back. But for today, it's moderate weeds and high tree pollen that we have. The grass pollen remains low. Again, I think we'll probably see these numbers go down for a couple of days while we're in the cold air before they start to bounce back up as we get closer to the weekend. Here's the front that moved through last night that brought those howling winds, that blew the pollen around and got that in the air for us. Still a little bit of snow behind this system. We've seen a little bit of snow across the North Carolina mountains. Things are quieter here, a little breezy at times, but it's still cold. It's 39 degrees right now in Raleigh, 41 in Rocky Mount, 39 in Southern Pines right now. So definitely colder compared to yesterday. And we have some huge swings coming with our temperatures. Tonight, we're going to get down to 26, a very cold start. We haven't been 26 or colder since Valentine's Day. So it's been a while since we've had some numbers this low. The record low is 19. So we're not breaking a record, but it is definitely below normal for this time of year. And then Sunday afternoon, we're getting up to 80 degrees. We do have some cold mornings ahead. This morning, we got down to 31, 26 tomorrow morning, 31 Thursday. And then Friday, we get above freezing with our lows. Saturday, Sunday, those numbers continue to climb. Lows are in the 50s as we head into Sunday. As far as the high temperatures go, we're staying chilly today and tomorrow. Upper 40s, the normal 63. We're way below that for the next couple of days. We bounce back into the 60s on Thursday, though, and then 70s Friday, upper 70s Saturday, and perhaps 80 degrees 30s heading into Sunday. Let's talk a little bit about the rainfall that we had over the last couple of days. Some good rainfall. We didn't have any flooding rains, which was good, but some areas getting over an inch of rain, which is definitely some rain that we could use. March, we've had just over an inch, 1.22 inches so far, about an inch below normal for the month. We've had about 5.5 inches for the year so far. We're below almost by 3 inches. It's the 10th driest year on record so far. So we do need some more rain, but rain chances remain low for the next several days. No rain in the forecast through Friday. Over the weekend, a small chance for rain, and on Monday, about a 30% chance for a shower or storm. And looking at the long-term models, March 25th to the end of March on March 31st, we're at equal chances of below normal, above normal precipitation, but no big rain chances anytime soon. It's cold the next couple of days and then a big warm up for the weekend. Overall, the weekend is looking like a great weekend to get outside.
And Amy, here in the WRAL Live Center, we couldn't help but juxtapose these two scenes right here. In North Carolina, a sunny Carolina beach. I know people have to wear a little bit of coat, but look at what they're dealing with in Marquette, Michigan, after a blizzard dropped more than 3 feet of snow over the weekend. Right now, today, at least 3 to 7 inches of snow still remain on the ground. People are doing whatever they can to try to dig out from under this. Of course, the governor activating the state emergency operations. And of course, we're back with top stories after the break.
As we wrap things up, here's a look at a few of the headlines we're following today. A man was shot during a road rage incident in Johnston County this morning. This happened on US 70 near Princeton. Johnston County deputies say the man was taken to the hospital. They did not share his condition. No arrests have been announced at this time.
The secure status has been lifted at Jordan High School in Durham after a report of a student with a weapon on campus. Durham Public Schools officials say it is believed the student is no longer on campus. Sky 5 video shows the law enforcement presence at the school while the investigation is underway.
North Carolina Senate Leader Phil Berger asks for a recount today in the race against Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page. Page currently leads the Republican primary for the seat by 23 votes. Recounts in North Carolina rarely change a result. Berger also has until 5 this evening to file a written protest if he wants to make allegations of irregularities or violations of election law. That process could lead to ballots being thrown out or cause a do-over election.
Well, some people see a problem and immediately want to be a part of the solution. That's the case for Houston native Devontae Robbins. Every weekend, Metro, as he's known to people in the community, comes out to help people cross a busy intersection. He was inspired after he was hit and seriously injured in 2021 by a car speeding from police. The crosswalk is located just beyond a bend in the road that, coupled with speeding cars and distracted drivers, prompted him to take action.
Paying it forward. Our pet of the day is a 20-pound toy breed who cannot wait to become your devoted sidekick. Say hello to Jelly. She's a 1-year-old 20-pound Chiweenie. In case you're unfamiliar with her breed, she's a cross between a Chihuahua and a Dachshund. This tiny girl has an impressive vertical jump that's sure to make you smile. She's house-trained and enjoys car rides and walks. And if you're looking for an affectionate and curious companion, contact Red Barn Rescue for more information about Jelly. NBC News Daily is next on WRAL, your next local news update in 30 minutes.
And you can get breaking news updates anytime with our WRAL News app. We hope you have a great day.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air channel 34 and Spectrum channel 1257.